What is your vision for your team? What's your team's mission? Most importantly, if I ask a member of your team those questions, would they know? From my experience, most likely not. And that's unfortunate because a vision and a mission are so important to developing that great cohesive team. Let's talk about what those are, vision and mission. Start with vision. A vision statement is your view as a leader of where you want your team to be into the future. Look at it this way. If nothing stood in your way, where would you like to see your team in a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, sometime in the future? If nothing stood in your way, that's your vision. This is so very important because people follow an interesting vision. That's one way to get people energized because a good, exciting vision, it gets people going. It gets people behind you. It sets the tone for your team. Some examples of visions. My favorite is Martin Luther King. Now, King is not the only one that had this vision of better equality, but he was the one that was able to articulate that in a way that got people excited. Robert Kennedy said that King's I Have a Dream speech was one of 2 events that led to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. People follow a vision. Slightly more modern times, you have Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said he wanted to put a ding in the universe. Now, the universe is a pretty big place, but I think he probably succeeded in our little corner. Southwest Airlines, the vision statement was, and still is, to become the world's most loved, most flown, and most profitable airline. That's pretty clear. So how do you create the vision for your team? I suggest you sit down with a blank piece of paper and you write down some of those ideas, words and phrases that express where you see your team in the future if nothing stood in your way. As you work on that, they will begin to come together into 1 or 2 short sentences, and that becomes your vision statement. You want it to be short because you want people to be able to remember it. But it also needs to be impactful. You are articulating a vision. When you get it done, you get your draft finished, I want you to take that to 1 or 2 people whose opinion you trust, people you rely on. Show them your vision and see what their reaction is. If they don't look at you like you're just a little nuts, then go back and work on it some more, because that's the reaction you're looking for. It's that sort of audacious vision that will get people excited. Now, once you've created your vision statement, it's time to turn to a mission statement. Now, the mission statement is a different thing altogether. The vision, where you see your team going into the future. The mission is what they're doing now. What is the mission of your team? Why do you exist? And that needs to be very clear as well. The mission statement is one of the most important factors in engagement and motivation, because people need to know why they're there. What is the mission that they're there to accomplish? And they need to know how they are part of that mission, what they contribute to making that happen. And they need to know that you know what they do to contribute to the mission happening. That mission statement is part of all of that. It's critical to your team's success. Now, here's some examples of mission statement. Google said that they wanted to organize the world's information. to make it universally accessible and useful. If you go to work for Google, you know what you're there to do. TED. Now, you've seen the TED Talks. There's actually an organization called TED. It's a nonprofit that produces all those TED Talks. Their mission, spread ideas. Short, sweet, and simple. There's a clothing company called ASOS, A-S-O-S. Their mission statement, become the world's #1 destination for fashion-loving 20-somethings. Now that's pretty clear. You go to work there and you know you're not designing clothes for grandma. And really, I'm not all that turned on by the clothing that they produce, but then I'm not a 20-something either. But I really like that statement. Now you may think that some of these mission statements may sound like vision statements, and that may be. But you should have two very distinct statements, your vision statement and your mission statement. Some general rules for those statements. First, they should be short and to the point. You want people to be able to remember them. They may not be able to recite exactly, and that's not important. What's important is they understand what those statements are and how they contribute to making that happen. Don't combine the vision and the mission statement. They're two separate things. And when you put them together, then they're not really effective in either way. This is not goal setting. That's another process. Don't add goals to your mission statement because your goals change. And you want your mission statement to be short, sweet, and to the point so that people remember it. And finally, everything else you're going to do is based on a vision and a mission. Your marketing plan, your business plan, your goals, everything should be based on a good mission statement, on a good vision statement. Now, very often, a company will have a vision statement and a mission statement. And that's good, they should. But that doesn't mean you can't have a vision and a mission for your own team. It's been my experience that those two statements are the absolutely critical, most important part of team success. So what's your vision? What's your team's mission? Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to see more, click on the subscribe button right here. I'm always loading new content. And speaking of content, in the description below there's a link. Go to that link. It takes you to our website where you can download a lot more great information. And it's no sales. It's all free. Just want to give you some tips, tools, and techniques to help you be a more effective leader.